guess for December, but also for the whole of 2018, I wanted to do a video for you guys to update you on everything that's been happening around the channel and in my life. There's not really any drama or anything, so don't worry about that. And also kind of talk about where we're going in 2019 and what we're doing in 2019. So firstly, I hope you guys had a really good Christmas. I'm recording this on the 27th of December. This is like literally my first day off for I'll clarify what I've mean by day off, but really it's my first day to myself since roughly around the beginning of the month, or even like late November. December is a really busy period for a lot of people, especially if you work within the kind of retail sector like I do. Couple that with having some time off that I had, but I was actually visiting my girlfriend a lot of the time, so I wasn't at home at all. So this is actually the first day I've had to actually record videos for close to a month now. But you might be thinking, well, you've still managed to put a video up every day, and that's because I have what is called the backlog. So I am quite prolific at recording videos generally, and I knew December was going to be a tough month, so I made sure I had a lot of videos to put up. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, Phil, but mostly they're Fallout 76, and yes, that is true, but I will get onto that later, I guess, when we talk about the year and things like that. I will be doing a separate video at some point, probably right at the beginning of the year. It will go up or the next year, so 2019, of my kind of thoughts on the games of 2018. Not necessarily just my favourite games, but like definitely my thoughts, some hidden gems maybe, and things like that as well. So yeah, as I said, I haven't recorded anything. I've obviously still kind of been playing video games and things like that because I've been doing a lot of day shifts. Like recently I did like 11 in a row, and like my problem is when I do day shifts is like I have to get up at like 6 a.m. and then I don't get home till like 6:30 p.m. so I'm pretty knackered by then, and so I was like, well, as I don't have a lot of time off to record or anything like that, I'm just going to chill. So I plugged my PC into my TV and just chilled and played on my kind of TV instead of at my desk sort of thing, so it felt like a bit more relaxed and it actually kind of worked fine. I was enjoying that. Obviously I didn't play like a lot of the games that I record. I did play a little bit of Fallout 76, but I was mostly playing other things like Football Manager and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, so I spent a little bit of that. Over Christmas I went to my girlfriend's. I only had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, so I was working yesterday, Boxing Day. But that's kind of standard if you work in retail, like you just don't get like a lot of the time off over Christmas, and generally I'm pretty fine with that because I think for a lot of people they always think like, oh, I've got to have Christmas off, and then they kind of, I remember being a kid or even when I was at like college, as an adult, well 18 anyway, but I remember like you'd have like 2 weeks off for Christmas or whatever, and you just end up sitting there just watching crap TV most of the time because there wasn't really, like, I always say like the problem with, unless you're like rich, the problem with like having time off is that you kind of work and you have enough money maybe to spend to do things on your days off, or kind of to have a hobby or something like that. But if you actually have an extended period of time off like that, you kind of like, well, I don't really have money to do everything every day, so I'm just gonna kind of chill. And then you're like, oh, just kind of like sat here, and don't get me wrong, chilling isn't underappreciated pastime, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I generally don't enjoy doing it for that long a period, so I don't mind so much working over Christmas, as it were. I've even worked on Christmas Day before, back many years ago, when I worked in a restaurant, and we actually opened like for Christmas lunch and stuff, and it was actually quite good fun, and the tips were great. So I recommend that if you're not into Christmas. And of course, if you're not into Christmas, and I know Christmas can be a hard time for some people, definitely, you know, don't worry too much about it. Like, this is the thing. You watch like Christmas movies, or you listen to people talk about their Christmases, and all you ever see is like the good side of Christmas. And oh yeah, it was great. We did this, we did that. But people often exaggerate and stuff like that. Their Christmas is never as good as they say. Well, I'm sure some people's are, but do you know what I mean? It's never like it is in the movies, so don't worry about it. You're not like, if you had a pretty average Christmas, like, or you feel like it was a bad Christmas, it's probably just an average Christmas. It's a very overrated holiday, so don't worry about it. Of course, to those of you who did have a really great Christmas, well done. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you got everything that you wanted. One of the things that struck me this year was, and it kind of sounds strange because I'm a fully grown adult man, but it was one of the first years where I didn't even think about what presents I was getting, like, at all. I was just thinking about the presents I was giving out to people. I was like driving to my girlfriend's, and I had all my presents in my car, and I was like, oh thank God, like I only have to like drive here with these presents. I don't have to take them, like they're not like luggage I have to take back, because they were really annoying to like pile up in the car. And then I was like, oh no, wait, I was like halfway there, and I suddenly thought, no wait, I'm gonna get presents, aren't I? And I'll have to bring them back. So obviously it's not quite as annoying, but when it's your own presents. But yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, I do actually enjoy giving presents more nowadays than I do receiving presents, which is definitely not the case when you're younger. I think definitely enjoy getting those presents, but that's okay. That's just the evolution of human beings, I guess, as you go along. For some people, they probably worked that out when they're like 17. For me, 37. You know, that's just the way it goes, isn't it? So yeah, obviously New Year coming up as well. I'm actually working New Year's Eve. I couldn't give a monkey's about New Year's Eve, though. I really couldn't. It's so overpriced and overhyped. Best New Year's Eves I've ever had have been just simple house parties. You know, well, some of them weren't so simple, but house parties and things like that. Because honestly, if you go out anywhere, it's so overpriced and, you know, overhyped, and yeah, not my type of thing at all. In London, where I live, we actually have a firework display. It's a really good firework display on the Thames, and it's great to watch fireworks. But just because there's so many people there, like getting out is just a nightmare. So they do a pretty good thing on New Year's Eve in London, though, where public transport runs 24-hour. So even the tube lines, which don't necessarily run 24-hour, do, and it's all free, so people can actually get home, you know, safely. I guess it's also because I guess New Year's Eve's like terrible for like drink drivers and things like that as well, which you should never do, by the way. Don't ever do that on there. But yeah, I'll be working, so none of that for me, and I'm totally fine with that. I think I've got New Year's Day off though, weirdly, because I was like, well, I can work New Year's Day, but you know, rather some people would probably rather have New Year's Day off than me. So, but there you go. Anyway, so yeah, I had a nice Christmas, albeit a short one. Christmas like dinner is obviously amazing as always. Ate way too much food and stuff like that, and I wouldn't say I feel rough now, but I certainly, you know, don't feel as good maybe as before Christmas, you know, because you just end up eating so much, like, oh, it's just so much crap all the time, you know. I think they say that you eat about 6,000 calories on Christmas Day alone. It's like ridiculous, but hey, I guess, you know, you only live once, right? YOLO, which doesn't make sense, but anyway. So, yeah, for a lot of these reasons, I haven't been recording for like a month. If I show you actually what I have got, we go to my creator studio. Apparently they're changing this 2019, and I'm not looking forward to that at all because I've got so used to it. If we go into my video manager, you can see there's a lot of Fallout 76 videos in here as well. Great news for the fans of Fallout 76. All 5 of you out there. seriously, I've got a lot to say about that game. I'll do a whole different video on it, but suffice to say, it's nowhere near as bad as people think. In fact, it's not bad at all. So, I still have a lot of Fallout 76, but that's all I've got left, so I need to record some videos today other than this one. Red Dead as well, obviously still going. I haven't put up that much. That one got copyrighted because it had the can-can music in it. So there you go. That was the last one I did, which was, a while ago now. I'm going to jump back into, obviously, Red Dead and get that finished. I've struggled a little bit with Red Dead, and it's a theme I think I have had with a lot of games over the year, and maybe my entire life, actually, when I think about it. And it's something which is where I think with a lot of story games, I've become a little bit burnt out on them towards the end. I don't even think I'm near the end, by the way, on Red Dead 2. In fact, I know I'm not really near the end. But I found that, I think nowadays, like, open world video games, they have so much content in them. People demand so much content from these games that it burns me out, as I would call a casual gamer. Approaching a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy, but it's just so, like, I don't know, there's that side of me which is like, look, I want to try and complete this, and I get enjoyment out of completing areas, but you're just too big. It's just too big, Red Dead's a little bit like that, where you're like, I'm a little bit burnt out. Like, I love this game, but I'm a little bit burnt out. So I think taking a break from it was good, albeit only for a couple of weeks or so. And I'm looking forward to kind of jumping back in and finishing that off. I don't think I'm going to finish Odyssey though. It's just way too big. Origins was okay. Like, I felt the size of that was manageable. I think I finished the story in like 20 episodes, which was good. But I feel like Odyssey would go on for 100 plus. And really, the only games I've ever felt good about playing multiple, like this really long series on, is Bethesda games. I don't know why that is. When you look at it, like Fallout 4, Skyrim, Fallout 76, I can just record and play, and I don't know if it's because I'm so familiar with those games, because I've put so many hours in, or what, I don't know, but they're games which just really hit me, and for whatever people complain about all of those games, and there are plenty to complain about for some weird reason, I can just play those games forever. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know necessarily why that is the case, but that is the case. So yeah, a lot of these are published, but I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Fallout 76 videos still to go. So I'd still technically have enough for another 11 days of videos. How about that? So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting recording. It's been weird because I only just reset up my PC today. So I said I plugged it into my TV, so I had to kind of like reset my desk and everything like that. And it's quite nice because my mouse is wireless, so I was able to just use that. If you play something like Football Manager, you don't need a keyboard for it. You can just use your mouse pretty much. So that's nice because my keyboard's not wireless. So that was good. Frustrating, like if you do have to use a keyboard, because I used to have to get up and go back to my desk to use my keyboard and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, so that's, I guess, what's been happening up until now. I thought it might be nice to look at our analytics for the year as well. Not technically for the year, it's only up to December 25th. But it's just nice to kind of, I guess, look at these things. So watch time so far is 6,482 minutes 723. That's pretty good. You can see it's been fairly steady. I'd say it has risen a bit over the course of the year. I think this peak was around Spider-Man. Spider-Man did very, very well for me this year. Average view duration was 10 minutes 34 across the year. That's pretty decent. I'd say that's pretty decent for an ASMR channel, because a lot of people will click, I think, on my videos and then they'll turn off within a matter of seconds because there's a guy whispering on it. So I always even though my videos are quite long, I always have a low average view duration, and if I click on my videos you can see that the cut-off point is fairly immediately. It's just something you live with. I don't take it to heart, don't worry. Views wise, as you can see, this peak here, as I said, I believe that is Spider-Man. So we came out the summer. It always goes down a little bit in the summer because they don't really release video games that much over the summer, and it's hot outside. And then I think Spider-Man, was the big one, and then we had a kind of Christmas lull a little bit, which always happens. Otherwise, pretty steady. Revenue went up. I think that is a lot to do with YouTube Premium. I'll talk about that in a minute. Likes as well. God knows what happened on that day. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's an error on October the 2nd. That probably is roughly that, I guess, maybe. Dislikes as well. I mean, if I'm getting 11,700 likes and 576 dislikes, I'm fine with that. I don't think I'm a very controversial channel. Over 3,000 comments this year. The spikes are where I do live streams because you get more things there. Some shares as well. Thank you for anybody who shares, by the way. It's really nice. Videos and playlist, and we got an extra 2,515 subscribers this year, which is really good. And this, I think, is a very interesting one as well because these are my top 10, I guess, watch time videos for the year. So in terms of Hearthstone pack opening and rank play, was created in May 2017, but it was my most watched video this year in terms of total watch time minutes, which is crazy. And you can see the revenue I made off it. I made like $30 off it, which is again crazy. Still not enough to pay for the packs that I opened, but like, it's getting there, I guess. Google Earth football stadiums. You would probably imagine this would do quite well this year because of the World Cup happening and things like that. There was obviously more of an interest in it, and I actually like that video as well, which is nice. Sometimes some of your most popular videos are ones you're not even that happy about. Then we had a Beginner's Guide to Gaming Computers, was my third most watched video. Weird, but I should probably do more videos like this. What's interesting here, I think as you'll see, is all, up until Monster Hunter there, none of these are video game. Well, okay, Hearthstone is actually, sorry. Okay, it's a top one's video game, but then the next 4 are not even video game ones, technically, although I did use Football Manager for the European football structure video. But we got Google Earth, Wonders of the World. Now, don't get me wrong, I know the reason why some of these videos are here is because they get recommended from other videos people watch from other channels and things like that. So, there is that kind of weird thing going on, but it is interesting still, I think. So we had the Beginner's Guide to Gaming Computers explaining the European football structure. I literally did that because somebody asked me, and I was like, no one's going to watch this. It turns out a lot of people watched it. Google Earth, Wonders of the Modern World, Monster Hunter World Part 1. I only ever did one video on Monster Hunter, and it was really popular. And I just didn't do any more. I don't really know why. I just didn't. I played it a lot more. I didn't do any more on it. PC Building Simulator. I will do a few more episodes on that now. They've had some additions or DLC, I guess, added to it. Not paid or anything, but yeah, I enjoyed that video. FIFA 18. That was my 2017 one from September. Was one of my most watched videos for this year. GeoGuessr, yeah, love a bit of GeoGuessr, and Spider-Man. If we look purely on views, Spider-Man #1 video for the year. So as you can see, Spider-Man did very well. Then the Google Earth Football Stadiums, Monster Hunter, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, way back from March 2017, my 4th most viewed video 2018. Subnautica, started that earlier in the year, enjoyed that. Google Earth Tour of London, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, a tour along the rooftops. Some weird videos that come up for me. I always feel they're weird because I think the secret to success on YouTube is any video that you just do as a one-off and you don't think it's going to do very well will do really well. And any video you actually spend time on Guide to Gaming Computers, Monster Hunter World, PC Building Sim, Google Earth, Getting Started in No Man's Sky Next, Spidey Tour in New York City, yeah, Fallout 76 did alright as well. Madden NFL, I could do another video on that as well, because it's hilarious. If you haven't watched that video, it's me pretending to know something about American football, but knowing nothing about American football, because I got NFL Madden for free as part of the Origin Access thing I did, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just record a video on it, pretending I know what the hell I'm talking about when I know nothing. In terms of top geographies, United States, as you would probably imagine, the best 53% of my watch time comes from the United States, then United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France. Hello to all of you in those countries. You make up, what, 70% or so? A bit more than that, 75, 80%. Gender, male to female. That's actually, I don't know if that's good or bad or what, I don't know. It's always been roughly at least 90% male on my channel, which is not something I encourage, I don't think, but I don't know, maybe that's just the way it is. Traffic sources, so this just tells me that 25% of my videos are watched because it was suggested, 23% from a YouTube search, 21% from browse features, 32% other, and then 98% of my videos are watched on YouTube itself, so not in external websites or apps or things like that. Again, if I really wanted to deep dive into this type of stuff, I could probably have a real look and see where I can improve and stuff like that, but I'm just too lazy to do that, sorry. In terms of demographics as well, we can see here we've got mostly skewed between 18 to 34, I guess a little bit higher than that as well. I will say, take this with a massive pinch of salt, because the 3.1% 13 to 17, I'd imagine barely anybody who's under the age of 18 puts the under 18 on YouTube, so I'd imagine that there's a lot more there than that, but whatever your age, you're welcome. I wouldn't say that this is a family friendly channel in some ways, but I don't think it isn't, if that makes sense. And then we have devices. I thought this was interesting because this actually goes back to the beginning of my channel, and you can see that mobile phones are so dominant nowadays in watching YouTube. I mean, I'd imagine most of you guys watch like YouTube on mobile phones. Maybe that's because mobile phones have just got a lot better, so that the screens on them have got better, and the YouTube apps got better, and all that type of thing. Maybe because people have watched them more on the go. Maybe it's because data plans have got cheaper, or 4G's got like more prevalent in areas. I'm not too sure, but I certainly watch most of my YouTube content on my phone. I'll occasionally watch the odd video on my computer. I don't have a tablet. I very rarely ever watch it on my games console. And TV I do watch, but the app is crap on my TV, so I don't watch that much on my TV. But yeah, it's interesting that just a vast majority now is mobile, and that's probably the future, isn't it, I guess, on there. So yeah, one thing I will say about YouTube Premium is, I've spoken about YouTube Premium before, and I'm not trying to flog it to anybody, because you can do what you want, but I will say this, that you can see here views across my lifetime, 1.2 million, and my YouTube Premium views 54,000, so not really very much, is it? But if I actually went to revenue, YouTube Premium is higher than my other revenue, despite the views. Do you see what I'm saying here? YouTube Premium, if you want to support content creators, is the way to go. Like, you can see I'm making roughly the same money off YouTube Premium views as I am off normal views, and I have way less. So it's an interesting comparison. I'm not saying for me, I have YouTube Premium personally because because I can see the effect that has, and I know a lot of people would be like, oh, I can't afford to spend £12 a month, or whatever it is, £15 a month. And listen, I totally get you. You know, no, like, it's cool that YouTube is free, but I will say that if you're like, hey, I watch a lot of YouTube each month, more so than Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever the hell other, Hulu, I don't know what other services there are, and I'm paying for them, then, you know, think about it, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to have to pay for YouTube when it's free. I totally understand. I'm sure if Netflix was like, hey, you can get Netflix and it's free, or you can pay for it, people would be like, well, why would I pay for it? That's ridiculous. And Netflix is different, because Netflix isn't about supporting creators, because the creators on Netflix all get paid, whereas the creators on YouTube, and again, I'm not directing this at me, I have a job, so I can pay my bills. But there's a lot of creators out there who rely on YouTube revenue, and God knows when we have things like the apocalypse, etc., etc., your revenue will fly about all over the place, and if you're having to actually live off that, that is super difficult. If you're know that you're getting a more steadier income, because people are, and I'm not talking about subscribing to a channel as well, you can do that if you want, but or subscribing to somebody on Twitch or whatever, but YouTube Premium, you do also get benefits of YouTube Premium as well, like especially if you do watch on your mobile, it's really good because you can get picture-in-picture. You can also have your phone like on sleep and still listen to whatever your YouTube video is, and you get the YouTube Music free as well, which if you're already paying for a music subscription fee like Spotify or Google Play, something like that, whatever the hell it is, you don't have to have that anymore because you can get YouTube Music. So I appreciate I'm trying to plug it, but I don't think people are aware of how good it is for content creators compared to just normal views. It's fantastic that in this day and age people can set up a YouTube channel, upload videos they like and make money off it. That is a dream when you think about it. It is an incredible thing to do, and you don't have to spend a penny to do that, and you can broadcast your videos for free. I hope it remains free forever, but for those of you who do have the money and you would like to support the content creators you watch, and not get ads, by the way, because you don't get ads when you have YouTube Premium, it's a really good thing to do. So I don't think that many people are aware of it out there, of the difference it makes. And I guess to finally go through, I guess we would have a look at some of the games coming out in 2019. Some of the games I'm going to play. I've got Spider-Man DLC to finish up. The last two I'm going to do, that's going to come out early January, like first week of January. I'd imagine the videos will go up. The DLC is obviously already out. Such a shame that Shadow of the Tomb Raider did so badly, because I really enjoyed that game. It just released it at such a wrong time. In terms of what we've got coming out in January, not that intrigued by a lot of this stuff. Kingdom Hearts, I'm not going to play, by the way, guys. It doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. Ace Combat, though, is one I am interested in. I think it comes out on PC a little bit later. And the PC, yeah, there you go, February 1st for PC. That interests me, like, I'll check out review scores and stuff like that, but as a game potentially I want to play. The reason why I'd play it on PC is graphically it would be better, and I've got a flight stick, which would be really fun to use and record. So if that's actually decent, then I'll definitely look into Ace Combat, because it looks cool. We'll see. So that's kind of it for January. So January I'm going to try and use to finish up like Red Dead potentially. I don't know if I will or not. Do the Spider-Man DLC, so we have the complete thing on that, etc, etc. February, as I said, there's Ace Combat. There's a real busy week. I don't know what the hell these guys are doing here. What is this about? Trials. I like Trials a lot. So I might have a look at that if it's any good. Crackdown 3 interests me, although 6 doesn't interest me. Far Cry New Dawn, I've got to admit, guys, it doesn't interest me. I just look at it and go, nah. I enjoyed Far Cry 5 a lot. Definitely one of my favourite games of the year. But this just looks like the same thing, and I'm like, ugh. At least when they did like Blood Dragon or Primal, it was like a real different setting. I know this is like post-apocalyptic, but it really doesn't look that different. I don't know, maybe it will be, we'll see. Jump Force is that like crazy Dragon Force C type game, doesn't interest me. Metro's Exodus interests me a lot. That looks cool. And Anthem interests me a lot. So February could be real busy. I'm not saying I'm going to play them all. I'm definitely going to do Anthem because that's bang up my street, and I already have it because I have the Origin access. I think there's also like a beta in January. If I can record, if I'm allowed to record that, I will do as well. We'll try that out because it looks super cool. And Metro Exodus, I really like the look of as well. I've played a bit of the other Metro games, but not that much, so I'm very intrigued by it. In terms of March, I'm a big fan of ToeJam and Earl. Like the original games, I played a lot and they were really good fun. So I'm keeping an eye on this one, but not expecting that much from it. Devil May Cry, I like Devil May Cry games, but I'm not going to play it, to be honest. The Division, yes, 100%. The Division 2, love the Division 1. So 100% will be all over that. And Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I'm pretty sure I'm going to play that as well because it looks super cool. Super cool. I love the setting. I love the game. I love the gameplay. I enjoy Bloodborne a lot, and it reminds me a lot of Bloodborne. So yeah, probably going to play that. In that, it seems like it's and I like Neo a lot as well. So I think I'm going to like that. Mortal Kombat, probably not. Days Gone, very intrigued by it. I wouldn't say my hype levels are that high for Days Gone because I don't know. I don't know about it, but it's like a PlayStation exclusive, and PlayStation exclusives have been knocking it out of the park recently, haven't they? So you know, I'm really interested to see how that goes. I'll wait for reviews and things. Rage 2, I would imagine I'd play as well. I enjoyed Rage 1 quite a lot, even though it was pretty terrible. But yeah, Rage 2 looks a lot better, and I think the combination of you know, the developers of like Wolfenstein with the developers of like Just Cause, you know, coming together, it's pretty good there. Shenmue doesn't interest me there. And then to be announced games coming out, I guess. Just looking at what else we've got. I always enjoy the Tropico games, so I know the PC one's coming out like early. I'll check that. If it gets like a really high review score or it's getting a lot of hype, then I might check it out, but I don't know if I'll have the time otherwise. Gears of War 5, I haven't really played Gears of War since the third one, so I missed 4, so I don't know if I would really get into that one. My Friend Pedro, by the way, looks awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for that. Look it up, it looks really cool. I might check that out. Skull and Bones is the Ubisoft like ship combat thing. Not too sure on it. I think I'm in the beta of it. I signed up, so I'll check that out when I'm in there. And yeah, otherwise, these games I guess could become. I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 is no way on earth it's coming out this year. Death Stranding, I don't think it's coming out this year. Cyberpunk, I don't think it's coming out this year. I don't think Beyond Good and Evil 2 is either. It looks pretty cool. Ghost of Tsushima, I think that might come out this year actually, like later on. Halo Infinite needs to come out this year for the sake of the Xbox. Last of Us 2, I don't know, like Naughty Dog have delayed games recently. Pokemon Switch, I think Starfield will be out this year either. Pokemon Switch probably will be. Speaking of Switch, I'm actually going to sell my Switch because I just don't use it anymore. I got Pokemon Let's Go and did not enjoy it, so I hadn't played a Pokemon game before, and I can see that not for me. And Smash Brothers didn't interest me either, to be honest with you. When it came around, I was just like, I'm just not interested in this. So the only things which really interests me on Switch is Zelda, and there's not going to be another Zelda game for years, is there? So, like, I might as well not bother, or like another Mario Odyssey style game, but there's not going to be another one of those for years. So, I was thinking I might as well sell it, make some money off it now while I can, and then at the end of the day, if I want to get another Switch when one of those games come out, I can just pick one up then. They'll be cheaper by then anyway, most likely, so I'll do that. But yeah, so I just literally don't use my Switch anymore. So yeah, because some interesting games coming out, I'm sure there will be a lot of surprises coming and stuff like that. And as I said, I'm definitely going to do some different, some more like Google Earth videos, things like that coming up as well in 2019. So yeah, lots to look forward to. I hope you will join me on the journey, as it were. We're pretty much finishing up on. Wait, how many subs have I got? I think it was 5,700. Yeah, 5,725. I wanted to get 6,000 for the year, but I'm absolutely fine with 5,700. Like, that's cool. I don't know if I'll get to 10,000 next year. 10,000 was always my goal. But I think at the rate we're going, like 2 years' time, I'll be at 10,000 on that. That would be really cool. I mean, it doesn't get you anything, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, yeah, that would be really cool. So anyway, that's that kind of like little or long channel update for you guys. As always, I hope you're doing really well. And I'll see you soon. Right now I'm going to go and record some video games. See you soon. Bye bye.